And so we are not going to be distracted. For now, we stick to the issues, we stick to our rebuilding efforts, and we'll do everything we can to ignore such distractions. Every single thing he puts out there is a complete falsehood. Does not represent exactly what the flag bearer put out at the presentation. What the flag bearer and the general secretary is doing is within their right. It is at the party meetings, it is at the party engagement where specific issues, selective issues of the report would have to be divulged and then specific actions recommended. There is not a single issue that the flag bearer and the general secretary have put out from the Makokwe report that ingests the fortunes of the party. There is none. And that's why they are very careful which aspects of the reports they put out. Let me remind you, as part of the tour are closed-door meetings for regional executives and constituency chairmen, even before the general meeting that you see. In those closed-door meetings, there are also specific selective issues out of the report, which is not meant for the larger group, that is also shared there with its recommendations for action by these leaders of the party at various levels. So the party is doing exactly what we are supposed to do. And that is what is happening. On the thank you tour, the general secretary, the flag bearer are itemizing the issues at various levels and various fora to ensure that the party can move with it and get into the future even stronger. For comments and, like you said, you call it backlash and commentary from other people, both internal and external, we would interrogate the facts as they come up. But honestly speaking, I read what you referenced with Pagbe when it's completely misrepresentation is false. There is not a single time, and you cannot even point, Selom, you cannot point a single time where Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has sought to absolve himself from anything. The pronoun he's been using is we, the party and the government. That we were admonished by our party people at some point to undertake reshuffle, but we refused to listen. That was a mistake on our part. In Chi, at some point, he said, "You're so edding, now you're so edding." Basically, we were too stubborn. He never said you were too stubborn or they were too stubborn. He said we were too stubborn. However, we have learned lessons out of this, and this is going to make us even better going into the future. And we believe that as we reorganize, remobilize to get back to power, to implement our ideas, policies, we are going to learn lessons from what happened to us in the last 8 years when we were in government and do better than we did in the past. How does this represent anybody absolving himself from anything?
Well, he says other things. Indeed, he described it as a justification tour, but it's not so much about Palgrave Bwachidankwa. It's about who he represents and who he appears to be speaking for. Honorable Kennedy Japan, we know him. He was the closest contender in that race that elected Dr. Bawumia. We know him from 2008 and what he thought or said of Dr. Bawumia. And today, Palgrave, who appears to be speaking for him, is saying these things. Is it not fair for the public to interpret these as the views of Kennedy Japan, who is also on the thank you tour?
I don't speak for Palgrave. Neither do I speak for Honorable Kennedy Japan. So I'm sure maybe when you get him on the line and he finds this prudent to speak to, maybe he will address them. But as it stands now, in the Bono region, in the Ahafo region, what the General Secretary, the flag bearer, and the leadership of the party, as endorsed by the National Council, is trying to do is to rebuild our party by looking at what we didn't do right, what we could have done better, and what we need to do going into the future. And each of this information is selective as to who receives it at every point in time and how that information is being managed. I think at this point, one of the things we would want to do as a party is to stay focused. We anticipate some of these distractions, but we have been here before. We've been down this lane before. Between 2009 and 2016, we went through this and we came out of it. And I'm very confident that we will get out of this stronger, in spite of all of these distractions and misrepresentation from even internal and external people.
I see. Dr. Bawumia also said that people call for reshuffle by ENT, but we know that only one person does reshuffle. That is the president. The president is the one with the mandate. He has executive authority and power. he decides who goes where and who stays where. That's reshuffle. Is that a dig at his former boss?
No, it is a dig at our government. It is a fact, a representation of fact on our government, which he was vice president to, and that's why he said yentie. As a vice president, I believe that he also has a responsibility at every point in time to also make input into running of government, and he hasn't absorbed himself of that. If we are going to interpret this in that manner, then by the time we are done, we would place almost every single misdoing or otherwise on the part of our government on the doorstep of individuals. Somebody was responsible for the finances on behalf of the president, isn't it? In terms of the running of the economy of this country. Do we say that we go and place that at the doorstep of the person? Somebody was responsible for the school feeding you referred to. Do we take it to the doorstep of the person who was responsible for the school feeding? No. As an organization, as a group, we win together, we fail together. We are all collectively responsible for the outcome of the elections. We are all collectively responsible for the actions and inactions of our government. And that is what Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is saying. Let us learn from these lessons and become better in the future than we were in the past. He is not placing the blame on any single individual's doorstep. We are all taking collective responsibility for it. And that's what he sought to do. And if you pay very close attention to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, you realize that has been his posture from day one. By simply indicating that as a government and as a party, we are in the boats together. And if we are sinking, we are all sinking together. If you are rising above the water, we are all rising above together. We cannot place the blame on or at the doorstep of one single individual. I think that would be complete unfairness to anybody.
But Miracles, I mean, he talks about cost of living. He talks about DDEP. He talks about NAPCO. These are economic matters, and we and NAPCO indeed was his brainchild. You know, so what's he saying? Who is he criticizing for this? And he was the guy or the man, who was brought because of the economy. Cost of living is a key economic issue. The DDEP, the Domestic Debt Exchange Program, haircut, NAPCO, all of these key economic issues. And if he's saying that they failed at this, then what is he telling himself? What is he criticizing himself?
I thank you, Selom, for at least bringing this up to deal with the misinformation and misrepresentation of Dr. Bawumia attempting to absolve himself. So you have answered that question. So if Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is raising issues of economy, he's raising issues of high cost of living and saying that the report that has come out, it was clear that these things accounted or were part of the reasons why we lost. And he was at the forefront of dealing with the economy and all of these things. Then you can't come back and say that Dr. Bawumia is shifting blame.
So he failed. So Dr. Bawumia failed in his role as the economic whiz-kid for the government.
Dr. Bawumia has identified some of the things that we could have done better than we did. And DDEP was one of it.
And so
some of the things that we could have done better. Because you see, when you talk about failure is when you aggregate everything and you are probably falling below a certain benchmark. You could have done other things really, really well. But you could have also have done other things better than you did in the past.
The pass mark was 50% plus one vote, and once you went below that, and
which one did you place below the 50 plus one?
No, I mean you win the election. That's when you pass.
Which one?
But if you don't win the election, it means you have failed. Oh,
that cannot be correct. The fact that there are governments who were even doing so and were removed by military men. So the fact that
this was an election. The verdict of the people are the markers. The people feel the pain. They enjoy it when it's good. And they say that you didn't do well, so you have to go.
That is why you identify the ones who could have done better. Okay, there are other things you did right, but there are other things that you could have done better. That doesn't entirely put you at the level of failure. It tells you that hold on to the ones you did very well. The ones you did really, really well, hold tight onto them. And then the ones that you didn't do so well, learn lessons from them, so that in the future, you would do them right. And I think for me, that is what nation building is all about. Nation building is not about being adamant. Nation building is not about putting your head in the sand like an ostrich and pretending that everything was right. This time round, he's not speculating. This time round, it is not Salom said, Miracle said. This time round, the review, the research that has been done has said that, hey, You did so well in education. Health, you did so well. You did so well with infrastructure, roads, and all of that. But the people thought that when it comes to the cost of living, you could have done better. The people thought that when it comes to the issue of DDEP, maybe you should have used another alternative. The people thought that when it comes to e-levy, you shouldn't have brought it in there. That doesn't mean that overall you failed, but it meant that there are other things that probably were of priority, high priority to the people than other areas, for which reason you should take note of and then get better going into the future. I think that, for me, is where the conversation is going from what we are looking at.
Now let's look at some other matter. A party stalwart of yours, Boakye Jakun, issued a statement today, and he is saying that the thank you tour is resulting in a regrettable turn of events, and it threatens to inflict serious collateral damage on the very fabric of your party. He said, more worryingly, it is steadily eroding the goodwill and trust your party has worked hard, to cultivate among the Ghanaian people. And he is saying that it's important you call it off and then re-strategize and then pick it up again. Is this something the party and the former flag bearer will listen to?
I am reading, just when you started listing these things, I knew where you're going. So I just went to Google. So go to Google and enter Thank You Tour by Nana Akufo-Addo in 2008 or 2012. This is no news when it comes to thank you tours. Go and Google Thank You Tour of John Mahama, His Excellency, in 2016 and 2020. It is no news. There are 2 or 3 controversies that always come with thank you tours. One, the flag bearer of the just ended elections will be accused of attempting to use the thank you tours to stage a comeback. Nanado in 2009 fell victim to this. Nanado in 2013, thank you tour, fell victim to this. His Excellency John Mahama in 2017 was accused by Dr. Dofo and Co. of the same. In 2021, he was accused of same. That is the first controversy. The second controversy is that because you surely have internal opponents, once you get out there, you should expect that internal party issues will come up. Now, these internal party issues alone, they never get away. You only get to deal with these internal party issues when you confront them. And that's exactly what we are doing. This is nothing new. Every thank you tour that we've seen in this country on the part of both political parties goes through these controversies. Flag bearer accused of using it to stage a comeback, and internal party allegations. It's all normal. It is part of the healing process. This thank you tour is the beginning of our rebuilding process, and these conversations are surely going to come up. Think about it. When you travel all the way to the Ahafo region to go and meet the party people who have been waiting for you since December 2024 when you lost the elections, what do you think? You think they are just going to sit down and look you in the face and clap for you and smile and leave? No. They will have concerns. They will have concerns that they would raise. They will talk about issues which they felt were part of the reasons why the elections were not successful. When these things come up at a meeting, you would have to address them. And addressing these things doesn't in any way become an issue. It is part of the rebuilding processes. And we should allow this natural course to flow. By the time we are done with the thank you tour, the party will be ready to leap into the future stronger than we found it even earlier.
The Honorable Kennedy Japan made a comment. He made a post on the 26th of April on his X account. He says that I'm quoting, I wish to sincerely apologize on behalf of the NPP for the oversight in not extending invitations to our dedicated polling station executives and grassroots members during the National Thank You Tour. Your commitment remains the backbone of our great party, and we value your continued support. Why did you leave out the grassroots, the so-called grassroots, the polling station executives, etc.? This is their thank you tour as well. Why have you restricted it to just constituency level people and others, but you left out the core, the grassroots of the party? What Kennedy Japan is apologizing for?
Okay, so I think Honorable Ken may have gotten that wrong, and I'm sure by now his attention has been drawn to it. So the thank you tour is not limited. It is not by invitation only. It is open to the entire party and even the general public. And so if you go to our meeting in Takrade, for instance, there were women from the fisher folks, there were drivers who are the market circle area who came there. There were several stakeholders who were in the meeting. In the internal party level, you have regional executives, regional party people, constituency executives, constituency party people, polling station executives, and even volunteers at that level. The invitation that was put out by the party on April 20th did not in any way limit the thank you tour to any group of persons within the party. And so that particular assertion is not entirely true. And I'm sure by now his attention would have been drawn to it. I'm looking at the release, April 20, 2025, by the General Secretary. He goes on to even add that as a distinguished member of the party, who contributed meaningfully to the party's democratic process, your presence in this tour will be both symbolic and unifying. To affirm our shared commitment to party cohesion, fast-looking leadership, and collective purpose. And he goes on to invite everybody at all levels of the party to participate in this thank you tour. So that assertion is not entirely factual.
I see. The people are calling for the report. Your MP for Empraiso, Davis Opoku-Ansah, popularly known as OPK, says or thinks that the report should be made public, and I'm quoting from the daily from the Herald. So he's saying that the integral members of the party, integral in quotes, want the report, and they've not been given the report. They're only hearing snippets of it. Is there a plan to make the report public? So we know the proposals they are making based on what data, what facts, what diagnosis he's asking. Is there a plan to make the report available so that your grassroots will look at it and know what to do now that the key issues are being discussed by the big men themselves on the stage?
Okay, so Salom, I saw Honorable PK's Facebook post. So first of all, he has every right to express his view, but respectfully, I think his view is wrong and is not one that will be progressive to the party. No organization in the world, whether a non-governmental organization or a commercial organization, no organization in the world, even religious groups, no organization in the world puts out their strategic document for the benefit of their competitors or opponents. It's never done anywhere. Give me one example of any political party in the world. Use the most advanced democracies, the Republicans, the Democrats. Have you ever seen the Republicans and the Democrats put their full report out there for the benefit of anybody? It is not everybody listening to you and I on Citi right now that is a member of the MPP. Of what you use or benefit, it's our internal strategy document that has been developed as a result of a review of our election of what benefit is it to a non-MPP member. Even an MPP member without a specific role or specific responsibility when it comes to implementations of the report, of what benefit is that? And I'll quickly use Citi. So Citi, you do end-of-year review meetings to review your performance for the year 2024. Then you do a forward-looking strategy to look at how you are going to strategically go into 2025 and outcompete your competitors within the media landscape. Then after you and Samens and Bernard and Chairman Omani and Co, Vivian and Co, you're going to sit down to plan for Citi. You looked at what you didn't do right in 2024. You looked at your flaws, what you could have done better. Now you have your review document, a strategy document. Instead of you cascading this to your department, let the head of department know, the sales department, production, warfare, let them know their various responsibilities in this strategy document. So they can also send it down for the production head to take it to the cameramen and sound people and makeup people. You are saying that Citi should go and put their report on their website so that despite media, multimedia, everybody can go and read. Is that how an organization is run?
No, we'll share it with our internal staff. Our internal
Absolutely.
staff will know what it is.
That is absolutely.
So if the internal staff are calling for it, you give it to them. So if the party members are calling for it, like what OPK is saying, you give it to them.
Hang on. So that's exactly what is being done. You share it with your internal staff. So the National Council received the very first copy of the report. The National Council, to see it as Samens and the big men at the top, they have looked at the document. They are now going to identify what is relevant to Salom and what is relevant to Akosia, what is relevant to Samiri Afe, various departments. They are not going to put the entire Citi FM strategy document in Salom's hands. That is not how an organization is run. They are not going to put the entire Citi FM's 2025 strategy in the hands of Samiri Afe. That is not how it's done. Or they won't take that document and go and give it to the makeup artist or the sound guy or the camera guy. That is not how it's done. They are going to cascade the relevant information to the production head. The production head at its level, having a view of what production needs to do to plug in into 2025, will go and call a production team meeting where the cameraman, the sound men are there and say, guys, this is what we could have done right. This is what we couldn't do in 2024. This is the outlook, and this is what we expected to do in 2025. That is exactly what we are doing. And that is why I told you earlier that on the tour, there is always a closed-door meeting before the general meeting that you see. In that closed-door meeting, you are not there. That is where they are for specific issues, relevant issues that would enable us to do better than we did in the 2024 elections in Ahafo will be shared.
Very well.
Beyond that, the Ahafo leadership is also going to take that and also go to the various constituencies and share to the constituency executives. Then the constituency executives will also pick within their constituencies the relevant polling station executives and also share with them. That is how an organization is run. That is what the MPP is doing. And the MPP is not doing anything different from any other political party. Like I said, give me one political party in the world that ever finishes an election review committee report and comes to put it on their website or put it in the public. Why should we do that? So that the NDC, who is our biggest competitor, will know
whose reports you called to be made public in the past, though.
Say again?
Whose report, similar report, Kosibocho report, you members of your party called to be made public?
You would always call for it, but was it made public? We would always call for it. That is why I did not have any grudge with Honorable PK when he calls for it. People would always call for it. But it is not the most sensible thing to do as an organization. No organization does that.
Very well. Thank you so much. Dennis Miracles Abuaji. One day we'll do a program and understand why you are called Miracles, but that's for another day. Thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thank you,
2024 campaign communications director for the Dr. Bawumia campaign team. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Now let's speak to Dr. Kwame Ansah-Santis, a political analyst. He joins us on the line. Thanks so much, Doc, for holding on and agreeing to speak to us on this matter. I'm sure you've been following some of the comments that have been coming from the thank you tour and the reactions therefrom. First of all, what do you make of comments like high cost of living, the NAPCO failure, DDEP and others caused the defeat of the MPP coming from the flag bearer, who was a key member, vice president indeed, of the administration? What do you make of that?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I think that the research that they've conducted has brought a lot of things to the fore that if the party is sober and reflective, they can make meaning and use it to build itself. Having said this, I must also say that a lot of the things that they have brought out, because we have not seen the reports, are not new. People like us have said it. We've talked about them extensively, but except that all that we said and prophet fell on deaf ears. Now the reality has dawned on the party, and now the cat is already out of the bag. If you look at the issue of cost of living, e-levy, debt, domestic debt restructuring exercise, increases in fuel prices, these are nothing but economic issues. We have said, and will continue to say, that if you read the literature about the things that influence every Ghanaian voter in this country, top on that person's priority is the economy. Because the economy is linked to every sector of the state. So once the economy has some difficulties, I'm afraid it's going to affect whoever manages the economy on our behalf. That we said it time and again. And every time we said it, we told the party, the government for that matter, that improve the economic lot of the people and all that. Stop the reckless expenditure. Stop the indiscipline, financial indiscipline and the rest of them. But all these things were not heeded too. All that we got was just everything that was happening was, attributed to Russian-Ukraine crisis. Jesus Christ, what kind of nonsense is that? This is the case that all the problems we had here were problems created by Russia and Ukraine, the party was not sincere and genuine to itself. There was no single problem that they could say that, look, this one we caused it, and everything Russia and Ukraine. And it became like, a musical note that every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the party was playing that. Today, they are here talking about what when we told them.
It's interesting. It's interesting you mentioned that, because so far, I don't know if they've said it, but I haven't heard it. I've not heard Russia, Ukraine, or COVID so far on the platform, on the stage, or on the road.
Conspicuously missing in the findings. Maybe later they will bring it, because you and I have not seen the report. But where is the Russian-Ukraine argument? It was something planned and decided to churn out. I must concede that yes, the Russian-Ukraine crisis had effect on us. But if you read Auditor General's report, the mismanagement, financial mismanagement, the corruption, and the rest, were they created by Russian-Ukraine crisis? Then you tell me that you have people who are not sincere to leave us. And that is the price that they pay. Because in politics, there is always reward and punishment. And reward is when you handle your people well, you listen to them, and you govern according to the dictates of the Constitution and their interests. Any other thing short of this, you receive punishment.
Do you have the impression that, as people are saying, Dr. Bawumia is trying to absorb himself of the blame? Do you get that impression, or you think he is collectively sharing the blame with everybody?
Before coming there, let me also touch on one issue that they talk about. They talk about the fact that the cathedral also caused them a lot. I'm sure you heard that.
Yes.
Why are they talking about this? Is it not the case that they were saying that people like us were making too much noise about the cathedral? They will commission the cathedral and $58 million. Where is it? You see, one of the things that also influence voter choices is the issue of corruption and mismanagement of public funds. Once people get to know that you are not putting their money into effective use, obviously they know that this government is not seeking their interest. They will put the government out. Now here you are. Now they want to talk about cathedral. The cathedral they didn't want us to talk. You're talking about. I want them, if the research is sincere, which I know, it should point to me that what is also the effect of the Pualugu Dam, the $12 million that we never received anything from it. Remember that if that dam had been constructed, the issue of Akosomo Dam and all the crises that confront us would have been a thing of the past. And more so, we're going to get a lot of lands going to be irrigated using that dam. Where is the dam? And what is our $12 million? Then, I'm coming back to your question.
Yes.
Of
blame.
Dr. Bawumia, whether he want to wash himself with this report or not. From where I sit, it is not news to me that if you want to do that, because you realize before he was selected, Nana Akufo-Addo's argument is that I am bringing him on board so that he can come and add to the ticket and help us to deal with economic challenges over time. Anytime, if you study the why we select running mate, the whole idea is that you are coming to complement the ticket of the flag bearer. And one way, what he's supposed to bring on board, economics and other areas where he has a strength. So Bawumia coming in was not coming into a tea party, but he had a critical duty to play. But you saw him when things became tough, he ran away. And he was in other areas such as digitization and other. That is not to say that digitization is not important. It is important. But he had a core duty to do by making sure that the economy stays healthy. That one he chickened out. So now, here you are. All that he is doing, if somebody concludes that yes, you want to wash the whole report, just make yourself so clean and all that, the person is justified. Because we want to hear his contribution towards the defeat of the party. And it is clear. You were in charge of the economic management team. What did you do? The policies, the economic policies that the government would churn out, did you see them? Did you interrogate them? Did you assess them from time to time? If that was the case, why did we have what we are having now? So it tells you that this is all much ado about nothing. All that they have to do is that be bold and say that we got it wrong, we failed here, and then you proceed on that route of integrity. But once you begin to pass the back, you begin to apportion blame subtly towards some people, then obviously you are running away from the truth. But remember, politics, there's a day of reckoning. And that day of reckoning is that when you come face to face with the reality. Who told them to come out and explain things to us because they've done research? Now, they have no choice than to go gather data and see what went wrong. And I want to see the instrument that they use to collect the data. If the instrument did not also, pose questions to or try to elicit responses relative to what? Regional specific issue and constituency specific issue, then I have a problem with the instrument that they use. Because, look, in election surveys, you have national issues. Beyond that, you have regional issues. Beyond that, you have constituency specific issues. Issue of Galamsey is both regional and national and constituency specific. Did we hear anything about that? They shove it under the carpet. If that did not feature in the question, their instrument that they use, I will challenge that instrument. Because you cannot go to 2024 election without looking at issue of Galamsey and its effect. We saw in Western region, almost all the seats fell to MPP, NDC. Why? Because one of the reasons was the issue of Galamsey. They lost out. So why are we not hearing anything about it? Why are you not hearing anything about Russia and Ukraine and the rest of them? So look, they must come clean for some of these things so that we will know that the research is authentic. Otherwise, yes, we'll take the research with a pinch of salt.
I see. The people like Boakye Jakun, obviously stalwarts of the party, think that this is degenerating. So it's proper they pull the brakes, re-strategize, and get back to the thank you talk. What do you think?
Please, I'm struggling to hear you. If you could.
Yeah, I'm saying that people like Boakye Jakun, who obviously are senior members of the party, think that the current the path they are taking now may lead to distraction in terms of the thank you talk. So it's better they halt it, re-strategize, and then pick it up again. What do you think about that?
I support that view because I've said it that exercise is a bogus one. Because you have problems that continue to linger within the frontiers of the party. Issues of dissatisfaction relative to the primaries that were organized. There were people who were disenchanted, there were people who were hurt and all that. Have they reconciled them?
But is this not the opportunity to do that? I mean, open it up for everybody to talk, you speak your heart out, and that may bring some healing.
Remember, the thrust of their globe-trotting is talking about thank you. Thank you is not the same as we are here to deal with some of the problems that resulted out of our primaries. Have they dealt with that? They should be able to deal with that because you have people like Amakoba and Co. who are very bitter for very good reasons. You need to sit down, talk about that and deal with those issues and bring them into the fold. The people that you jettisoned some years ago, Afoko, Kwabregepong, and the like. You need to be able to deal with this thing and bring them. Remember, the game of politics is a game of numbers. So every soul counts. Every vote is important.
I was coming to that. One of the key people, Kennedy Japan, says that it's about unity. So they should bring back Alan, Afoko, and all those people who left or were sacked or suspended from the party as a first step or one of the steps to galvanizing the party together. That obviously sits well with you.
It is a good call because these people are towering personalities within the party.
Hello?
And for that matter, large following that you need to tap the expertise and then also win the souls that follow them and use them for the campaign exercise. Other than that, you are going to have a problem. So they have a whole lot to do. But this knee-jerk approach to the issue will not help them. They need to sit down and look at the reports and see how to deal with the reports and then implement them. But people like us want to see the instrument because I want to see and hear about Russian-Ukraine crisis and its effects. I want to hear and see about issues about what Galamsey and Dumso, all right? And where have all these things gone to? Is it the case that Ghanaians didn't find problems with this, or they are oblivious of this fact? No. I want to see more. Maybe they are giving us, or the way they are giving the information, it will come later. For now, we are receiving information in thoughts, so we are waiting for that.
Very well. Thank you so much, Dr. Kwame Asante, political analyst, speaking to us on this matter. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. A number of your messages have come through. Gusty Man in Brekum says the NDC must focus on the high cost of living and the rampant doom so and leave Bawumia alone. President Mahama is only interested in fanfare instead of pressing issues. He's interested in removing Chief Justice more than solving our problems. Kwame Fiak in Lexington, Kentucky says, miracles go explain tire. This one says, interesting. So over the last 8 years, the MPP didn't notice that they were so arrogant. I like the honesty from the former flag bearer. They will stay in opposition for 20 years so that they will learn a lesson from their action for not listening to Ghanaians. For the hardship they impose on us for the past 8 years, they shall suffer same. Indeed, power does not last forever. I also pray for the mediation for bringing everlasting peace to Bokude Sani from East Legon. This one from Eric in Dansoman says, I think Dr. Bawumia should have embarked on an individual thank you tour rather than make it look like a party tour when he, Bawumia, is not the current leader of the party. The national executives cannot make him the presumptive flag bearer for 2028. He is creating more chaos. Pa Grant from Kumasi says, why do you want to nail Dr. Bawumia despite miracles ascension? I like how you went by the interview. You asked the questions as the mass want to go. Pa Grant, okay, great. All right, Mausi Ayebi Aista in Abuja Teti in the voter region says, I seem not to understand Miracle Abadi trying hard to defend the indefensible. Dr. Bawumia has stated that their defeat in the 2024 election stems from public discontent over the electronic levy, the DDEP, rising costs as he has accepted. Miracles Abwaji trying to defend this won't work, and they better sit up. If not, another defeat looks at them in 2028. We'll take a short break. We'll return and tell you about the demonstration against Galamsey currently ongoing, and also what Otumfuo Asantini wants to do with Boku. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Yo, Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. Let's take you to the Ashanti region, where the Asantehene Otumfuo Setutu II is set to officially resume the mediation process between the two factions involved in the ongoing Boku conflict. Well, this mediation process is set to begin tomorrow. All parties at the center of the disturbance have today arrived in Kumasi ahead of that process, and according to sources at the Mencha Palace, all is set for the event to begin, with necessary arrangements being completed. A historian at the Mencha Palace, Safo Kantanka, underscored the significance of Otumfuo's role in fostering peace and stability in the conflict-ridden area.
The time has come for the mediation process to start, and Otumfuo has given his consent that he's going to open the mediation process this week, beginning tomorrow. And we don't have to expect much, because the first time they are meeting on the issue. So what is important is for both sides to agree to disagree. They should agree to disagree on the grounds that they want peace. Nothing on earth should carry danger or fight till the world comes to an end. They should agree to end. And before the mediation starts, it is important, as Asantehene has already told them, that all guns should go silent. Nobody should fight until he has finished his mediation. And they are still fighting anyway, but I believe strongly that tomorrow we'll see the beginning of the ceasefire.
That was Safo Kantanka, a historian at the Mencha Palace in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. Will definitely bring you up to speed on that matters relating to the Boku mediation process, which will be led by the Asantehene Otumfuo Setutu II. Let's bring you to Accra, where members of the Generational Rights Protection Society are protesting to demand a clear plan to combat illegal mining in the country. Well, the protesters are carrying placards with slogans like blood, gold, greed, and say no to Galamsey. Well, while addressing protesters, convener of the Generational Rights Protection Society, Okateche Fifa stated that the group would present a petition to the president at the Jubilee House outlining 4 key demands that would only be disclosed upon presentation.
It has become important, sir, and for one reason and one reason only. Galamsey must fall. I say Galamsey must fall. Galamsey must fall. Galamsey must fall. Abata, I say Galamsey must fall.
We are here to fight against Galamsey. Pregnant women, the blind, and people with kidney diseases are among those calling for its halt. We will present a sealed petition to President John Dramani Mahama at the Flagstaff House at the end of the protest. Our demands will be reviewed when we present the petition.
Seal Aboso, John Dramani Mahama, Flagstaff House. Yes, some
That was convener of the Generational Rights Protection Society, Okateche Fifa Mensa.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees,
fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more. EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
New Kivo hot pepper powder. Loco shoe. This advert is FDA approved.
It's your day off and you end up looking after the baby while your wife goes off to work. You realize you have no idea how to change a diaper. So you video call your wife.
Hello, darling.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Kojo, is everything all right?
Everything is not all right. I'm not seeing Topo. How do I change a baby's diaper, please?
Kojo. Okay, first, put the diaper.
The video call freezes. While you wait for the internet to catch up, the baby sprouts a fountain and wets the diaper. As you are getting a new one, your wife comes back online.
Kojo, no.
But I have to go and get a new diaper. What must I do next? I beg, quick.
Open the front of the diaper. It's the side that has...
Wow, look, the video freezes again. Abba.
By now, you know where the conversation is going. There's no buffering in real life, so why accept it from your internet connection? Get connected and experience ultra-fast internet to your home, powered by MTN Fiber Broadband. From the Internet Masters.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Hello and welcome to the Monday edition of the Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Akusia. The details. President John Dramani Mahama has appointed Matilda Santiesiedu as the second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. Matilda steps into the stead of former second deputy governor Elsie Ado Awaji, who took an early retirement from the central bank in February 2025. Matilda Santiesiedu is a chartered banker and an experienced corporate leader, having previously served as group head of retail banking at Access Bank Ghana PLC. She brings a wealth of expertise to her new role, underpinned by strong academic and professional credentials. Until her appointment, she served as group head of retail banking at Access Bank, where she was instrumental in driving the bank's retail strategy. Now, the Bank of Ghana's gold reserves climbed to a total of 31.01 tons as of March 31, 2025. This reflects a steady build-up strategy aimed at strengthening the country's foreign reserves and monetary stability framework. This also marks a notable increase from 30.81 tons recorded at the end of February 2025 and continues as a sustained growth trend that has been observed over the past 2 years. Here's more on this report.
According to the BOG, starting from 8.78 tons in May 2023, the central bank's gold holdings have more than tripled, underscoring a strategic pivot toward leveraging Ghana's position as a major gold producer. The domestic gold purchase program is seen as playing a key role in build-up, with the central bank noting at the time of the launch of the program that it will pave the way to grow its foreign exchange reserves to foster confidence, enhances currency stability, creates a more attractive environment for foreign direct investments and economic growth. The program, it noted, will also enable the bank leverage its gold holdings to raise cheaper sources of financing to provide short-term foreign exchange liquidity. The accumulation forms part of broader efforts to diversify reserve assets away from traditional instruments. Analysts note that a stronger gold reserve position can help improve balance of payment resilience, pushing external shocks, and reinforce monetary policy credibility at a time when emerging markets are facing tightening global financial conditions.
That's Daniel Ojurmensah, the Citi Business Desk. with the report. Now, former board chairman of Bill's Microcredit, Richard Niamakwe, is calling for an urgent economic and financial revolution to address the growing unemployment crisis in the country. Well, according to him, the time to invest in young people and help them raise the necessary capital to scale up their skills and businesses is now. While speaking at a press conference to officially announce his retirement from his executive roles at Quick Angels and Bill's Microcredit, Richard Niamakwe urged investors to prioritize local investment.
Amongst us, there are those of us who have it and those who do not have it. For those of us who have it, let us not take our monies out of the shores of this country or leave our money sitting at the bank. Instead, let us invest our monies into the businesses and skills of those who do not have it. Let us form a network of angel investors and invest together to minimize our risk and maximize our chances of success. This way, we will be ready at any given time to raise significant capital to invest in all major sectors of our economy and take full advantage of the opportunity.
That was Richard Niamakwe, former board chairman of Bill's Microcredit. Well, meanwhile, lawyer Kwejo Day Kwating has assumed the role of board chairman at Bill's Microcredit, while Emmanuel Lamte has been appointed the new chief executive officer of Quick Angels. Well, that's how we wrap up the Monday edition of the Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I'm Akosia Hotre. Do stay with us. Up next is Point Blank.
Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more super. And the Polytank, we did Polytank. Papa no no, papa no no no, papa no no, papa no no no, papa no no, Ankasa. Polytank, the original, always the best.
Oh, jump on now. Go, Gugomi. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Sewudru krum na wote yes charcoal toothpaste aya no ya hwe yie na obi amfa so kwan na no wa chenchena esane se charcoal toothpaste bebre ane wodwa so na so nyane nyina na yema wose titru mpo ne se wo nyini no bon ho modin se wo beto charcoal toothpaste a ye di bidi ankasa ye na anya dai kekene ade agumu na wode yin keka wafiri usimu na wo se anya hoden na se efita to charcoal toothpaste fluoride ewo mu na bo se ho ban na mana ye din da ekosi se obobo akokora na sa abrewa Pepsodent charcoal toothpaste dear what dibidie lemon mint ana zinc ana akabomu aye enti ma wose yadin na wonum so ahwam de mu ni nyina Pepsodent dear yenim no dada o enti wasan de bidie lemon ana mint akabomu aye dear ene na kire se yesen adamfo no ebem wonum ahwam na abo wose ho ban afrika kanwa bia mu to Pepsodent charcoal toothpaste fetwi wose na ma wose ho ban abrebia.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Welcome back. This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. My name is Selom Adonu. Tonight on Point Blank, the President John Dramani Mahama has officially launched the Ajumera program, a flagship initiative aimed at addressing youth unemployment and fostering entrepreneurship in Ghana. The launch event took place at the Prempeh Assembly Hall in Kumasi today. Speaking at the event, the president stressed the government's commitment to creating decent and sustainable jobs for young people. Let's take a listen.
Today we're gathered here to take a monumental step towards securing the future of our beloved country. We're doing so by offering our young people not just hope, but real opportunities to create, to innovate, and to thrive. Across Ghana, from our bustling cities to our quiet rural communities, young men and women nurture big dreams. They have powerful ideas, and they have an unstoppable drive to build better lives for themselves. However, these dreams deserve more than just applause. They deserve action, they deserve opportunity, and they deserve committed support. It is therefore with this conviction that I made a bold promise ahead of the 2024 elections to prioritize the welfare, economic empowerment, and development of our youth through the carefully crafted interventions that includes the Ajumera program. The Ajumera program, which we are launching today, stands as a flagship fulfillment of that promise I made in the campaign of 2024. The Ajumera program is not a mere policy initiative. It is a declaration of faith in the extraordinary potential of our Ghanaian youth. It is our commitment to nurturing their ambitions and translating their ideas into thriving enterprises that will drive our nation's progress. The Ajumera program seeks to stimulate youth employment, entrepreneurship, and innovation across key strategic sectors of our economy. Through a nationwide selection process, we will incubate new businesses and accelerate existing ones. And so those who can apply are not only people who want to establish new businesses, but if you have an ongoing business and you can benefit from the Ajumera program, you're also free to apply. And our goal is to create at least 10,000 Ghanaian youth-owned businesses every year over a 4-year period. This initiative will provide, 1, business development training. And so if you have your business or you want to start a business, you'll be trained on how to establish and manage a business. A lot of businesses fail because the promoters of the business do not understand how to run a business. The program will also provide access to funding. Most young people have good ideas, but they cannot start a business because they don't have access to capital. The program will provide coaching and mentorship. And so for some of the people you saw on the documentary, Akosombo Catering, Horseman Shoes, my friend Senaya, and Matthew Agambire and others. These are young entrepreneurs who already have established their businesses. And so when we help you under the Ajumera program, we'll assign one of these young entrepreneurs who already have experience in running a business to guide you and support you so that your business will also grow. We'll also provide technological support and access to equipment and machinery. Somebody establishes a business, but he needs some machinery to enhance his productivity, and he cannot afford to buy the equipment or the machine. Ajumera is there for you. It will help you to buy your equipment. Ajumera will also help you with market access and facilitation. You will get support in how to create a market, how to market your products, and how to be able to access sales so that you can get capital to continue to grow your business. And we also have 367 days a year of comprehensive business advisory services. So once you set up your business, it doesn't mean Ajumera is going to leave you like that. If you have any problem, you can always come back to Ajumera and describe what your problem is, and they will support you to go forward. These businesses will be selected. As I said, you can apply online, and there will be a neutral body that will go through all the applications, and they will select the businesses that will go into the program. It doesn't matter if your business is not selected. It doesn't mean that over the 4 years you won't get selected. We'll start with some of them. The following year we continue. If your business idea is not exactly the best, Ajumera can advise you what other business idea you can look at. Their businesses will be selected based on their scalability, sustainability, and their potential for job creation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an ambitious undertaking, but it is necessary if we are to secure a prosperous and resilient future for the youth of Ghana. But let me point out that this program is not like others that were announced in the recent past with a lot of fanfare, but proved to be mirages.
President John Dramani Mahama at the launch of the Ajumera program. Sector Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Opareado Esquire, joins me on the line for some more details on this. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News Point Blank. Yeah, so very laudable program. How does one qualify? Where and how do I get to be part? Where do I go? Where do I start from?
It's open to Ghanaian citizens, people between the ages of 18 and 40. You'll go onto the NEIP website, and then the link will lead you to the Ajumera page, and then you can apply. If you are not IT compliant and you cannot apply online, you can go to the district assembly. Every district assembly you go to in this country, you can access forms from there, fill the form, leave the forms there, and then the selection processes will be done. It's going to be a very open, transparent process. We intend to use more of AI to do the selection so that we can reduce the number of human interface so that people don't easily influence the system. But I want to assure that it's going to be very transparent and it's going to be very fair. It is going to be given to people who are deserving because we want to build Ghana for everyone.
Is there a limit to the number of people the program can take?
This year we are doing 10,000. So we are starting with 10. The promise His Excellency made was to train 10,000 young entrepreneurs every year. So this year the target is 10,000.
So what is the qualification criteria apart from being a Ghanaian and aged between?
You need no qualification. The only qualification is that you have a business plan. You have a dream and you want to establish a business. You must be able to tell us what the plan is, what the visual, so that we're able to visualize it and see how we can bring it to reality.
So if I bring a plan and you don't think my plan makes sense, then it means I don't qualify. I won't get it. Is that not it?
If you bring your plan and the committee thinks it is not workable and it cannot be scaled up, well, they are looking for businesses that can employ at least 2 people. So if it is just a business for only you, will help you. But to get funding, it should be a business that can be scaled up to employ more than at least 2 people.
And talking about funding, how much funds will be available per business, in this respect?
It depends. Some businesses need more, some need less. Some businesses need 100,000, others need 1 million. Some businesses need just 50,000, some need just 10,000. So depending on what proposal you bring and what your requirements are.
So will I be required to pay back these monies, or it's money the state is investing in?
So we are looking at 2 sorts of funding. We are looking at the grants that we will give, and we're also in talks with the Venture Trust Capital Fund to establish what we call the Ajumera Fund. Those who assess the Venture Trust Fund, you know how Venture Trust works. So those who go through that, depending on what arrangements they make with the trust fund, some will be required to pay back. But what we seek to do is to give grants mainly through the Ajumera program.
I see. So is this the same as the apprenticeship program, or that's different?
No, the apprenticeship program is a total different program. That one will be launched on Wednesday. That one is to train and give vocational and technical skills to young people who require those skills so they can also gain employment and also add on to the development of our country.
The president was saying that this is not like other programs launched in the recent past with a lot of fanfare, but in the end we don't see much. I mean, we don't see much really. What assurance do you have to give that this program will get to the end, it will achieve its intended purpose, and it will not just be one that will start and end at nothing after funds have been given to the people?
Because this program has been thoroughly touched through, we've developed a whole policy document for it, and we've set up a working committee that involves various ministries and agencies that are coordinating this program. And this is not just a one-off program where we intend to just give funds to individuals. We intend to take them through an incubation period where we'll support them with business ideas. We're also going to put them in touch with people to mentor their businesses, and then also provide them with market access. So, and along the line, if you have any challenges, the program will still be available to support you. And so it's going to be totally different from other programs that have been enrolled in the past. We're also working to put up a startup bill. And so once the startup bill is passed, Ajumera, which falls on our neck, will automatically be absorbed by the startup agency. And so things are going to be done differently in this respect.
How sure are we, or what assurance can you give to the public that this will not be one of those that are only open or only party people become beneficiaries? Yes, of course, to the public, you say everybody qualifies, but of course, we know how sometimes these things get. What assurance can you give the public?
That is why we are the selection process is going to be very, very transparent. And like I said, we are going to use various means of selection. We are going to use AI as much as we can so that we're able to reduce the interface of human beings within the process. The selection team that is also going to be put in place, because some of the applications will be made manually. It's going to be made up of people from various agencies, not just the MIP or the Ministry for Youth Development. We had a coordinating committee that had members from other ministries and other agencies that saw to the policy, development of the policy for this program. And so I want to assure everybody listening to me that as Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, will adhere to strict protocols and make sure that the processes are as transparent as possible.
How decentralized are you? Yes, I know application is through the internet and all of that. If, after everything is said and done, you said you'll be providing assistance and business advisory services, etc. How decentralized are you? If I'm in some village somewhere, but a beneficiary of the program and I need assistance, do you have to travel all the way to Accra or Kumasi somewhere?
No, you have to travel to your district capital where the district assemblies are located. Because we'll be working closely with the district assemblies and through our other sister agencies like the YEA. So wherever there is a YEA office or there is a district assembly office, we'll render services to you from there.
Very well. Thank you so much. The Honorable George Pariado, Esquire, Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment. They launched, together, of course, with the President, the Ajumera program. It's a flagship initiative aimed at addressing youth unemployment and fostering entrepreneurship in Ghana. Let's continue to listen to what the President said at that event.
Without adequate funding to sustain them, Ajumera is fully funded with adequate allocation. Ajumera is fully funded with adequate allocation provided by the Ministry of Finance in the 2025 budget. My young brothers and sisters, many big businesses of today were the startups and micro enterprises of yesterday. The Ajumera program is designed to be inclusive. It's designed to be youth-led. It's designed to be Ghanaian-owned. And so you must be a Ghanaian to be part of the Ajumera program. And the Ajumera program is regardless of your educational background. You can have little formal education, but you can become an entrepreneur, and the Ajumera will help you to do that. Whether you are university graduates, you graduated from technical school, vocational school alumni, you are a senior high school leaver, or even those with little or no formal education, you will have equal access to opportunities under this program. In line with my government's commitment to inclusivity and equity, I wish to announce that at least 60% of the beneficiaries will be drawn from women and girls, especially in male-dominated trades, will be drawn from persons living with disability, will be drawn from unemployed and underemployed youth, will be drawn from out-of-school youth, will be drawn from rural and vulnerable populations, will be drawn from youth in conflict-affected areas, would also be drawn from youth who were formerly engaged in illegal mining activities, popularly known as galamsey, and other marginalized and underserved groups. And so for youth who come from mining communities and were involved in galamsey, we want to shift them away from galamsey, so we'll prioritize them to be able to set up their own businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, through this we aim to significantly reduce Ghana's youth employment rate and contribute meaningfully to reducing the global need indicator. And need means not in employment, not in education, or not in training. We intend to reduce it through this program. My younger brothers and sisters, we were all not born to be employees to work for someone else. We can also be job creators. We can also be employers to employ other people. The NAPE, operating under the newly established Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment, will spearhead the implementation of the Ajumera program. And together with our partners, NIEP will ensure that these businesses are supported and they are nurtured and sustained over time. To further bolster market access, we are going to institute an annual Ajumera trade fair and exhibition. And so all the companies that will be supported under the Ajumera program, every year we will hold an exhibition, and you will come and take a stand and you exhibit what you've been able to do with the support that you were given. This trade fair and exhibition will showcase the creativity, the innovation, products and services of the Ajumera beneficiaries, providing a platform to build strategic partnerships and attract investment. The Ajumera program will be anchored on 6 thematic pillars. The first one is the promotion of inclusivity. The second one is building a robust national system for ideation and acceleration. The third one is to facilitate access to funding. The fourth is integrating technology in business development. And the fifth is coordinating access to partnerships, markets, and investment opportunities. And the sixth and final is establishing an effective monitoring and evaluation system to ensure transparency and sustainability of businesses. To the youth of Ghana, The Ajumera program is your platform. To the youth of Ghana, the Ajumera program is your opportunity to create, to build, and to lead. Let your dreams take flight. Let your innovations find expression. The future is not something we wait upon, it is something we build together.